baby? I see the duck. You have a duck on your shirt.
小小熊七七在这里，一个绿色的圈圈，绿色的圈圈，绿色的。
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rafi Birjatullah Arasi, and in the video I just watched, I see that babies do not learn language instantly, but through a gradual and natural process, and this process is known as first language acquisition or L1 acquisition, which begin in early childhood and happen naturally without formal instruction. So the YouTube video explain that babies are born with the ability to recognize sound from all language before focusing on the sound of their own language. So, and humans are born with an innate capacity to learn language, and children do not need to be taught grammar rule explicitly. Instead, they naturally acquire language through exposure and instruction. So this explains why babies learn their first language at a similar age, even though the language themselves are very different. So in the video, babies learn language by listening to people around them, and especially parents and caregivers. And they respond to sound, facial expression, and repeated words. So that input and social instruction are necessary conditions for language acquisition. And children must hear language and interact with other in order to acquire their first language successfully. So this shows that language learning is not only a mental process, also a social one. So the video also showed that baby through several steps such as babbling and imitating sound and eventually producing word. So the children through systematic developmental stage, often referred to as child grammar errors made by children, are not mistake but a normal part of language development. And for example, the when children say form like good instead of when, it shows that they are actively constructing language rules, not as simply imitating adult. Although the video focus on the first language acquisition, according to Saville Troy, explain that understanding L1 acquisition is important for understanding second language acquisition. Unlike babies, the second language learners already have a knowledge of their first language, which is can influence the learning of second language through the transfer either the positively and negatively. So this shows that first language acquisition and second language acquisition are related, but they follow the different process. So the video demonstrates how babies naturally acquire second language through the exposure and interaction. So by understanding how babies learn their first language, we can better understand how humans acquire additional language later in life. So maybe that's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.